improving our shit talk to eventually be an all-star MLS, all-star being all pro, MLS being major league shit talking. Within, hey Larry, why are you so hard on me? Segment 1. Segment 2, 11 chefs in the kitchen of your head. Segment 3 is your time, it's broken. When we clip together sound clips, we're a clip whore. We are robots only and able to handle a fortune cookie size message. Larry, I'm here and I'm so confused. Explain Web 12, Web 0, Web 4, Web 5, Web 12. Explain it to me like I'm 12. What we're winning at is Web 12. And if you're one of the few people who has heard of Web 12, you have a ginormous advantage. I have a ginormous advantage. I'm trying to give this advantage to you like you're 12. What is Web 12? It's basic, straightforward video reporting. It's helpful to you on 6 levels of: 1, you're no longer going to be a robot. 2, you're going to be doing that other things, other robots on YouTube can't do, which is emotionally react to being given a gift, humanly respond to valuable content. If you don't think it's valuable, you're an idiot, but then you could try to write that out too, because that's also valuable. Criticism done properly is also valuable. There's no way you can lose. That's Larry. Explain Web 12 to me like I'm 12 years old. I'm not going to tell you the origin story of it because that'll intimidate you and then it'll confuse you. This is the what's in it for me if I do Web 12. Quick origin came up as a joke because someone was like, oh, Web 1, Web 2, you should just call it Web 12. Maybe they didn't quite say Web 12, but they were trying to be a jerk. And I listen to jerks because I like to play the YouTube game on hard mode. So then, similar to when someone said Brokeback Mountain, I thought to myself, I should do a not shitty movie about gay cowboys and do a cool movie about Brokeback River. Get it? I listen to the spam and I make spam musubi out of it. Spam is bullshit. Spam is low socioeconomic shit talk. Spam is where the comments get flooded with complete shit. So I take that spam and I make it into spam musubi. If you've never been on vacation in Honolulu, this is your vacation to Honolulu. They pack some spam into rice and they call it expensive. That's Web 12, is you're taking crap from Web 2. Larry, you're the only social media I like. Everything else on YouTube is complete crap. Well, thank you for the compliment. And that's Web 12, is what is your emotional reaction in 12 sentences? Not 2 words. What is your reaction in 13 sentences or 11 sentences? Sharing that via an email message that potentially gets published or automatically gets published, you pick. You see, what is going on is we're living day to day psychologically operated on. by forces that are trying to keep you in the dungeon, keep you in prison. Our life right now is a jail with no bars. If you can't see that, you're not a human. Thank you for telling me that you're a robot. Because if you're human, this is not a normal human time. What can help our situation? We can get better, dare I say 1% better day to day. How? By not just eating shit for our brain, not just consuming brain rot content. That's what Web12 is brain repair, where I say something and then you say something. But it's not going to be a conversation where, oh, I listened to 15 of your videos. Now I'm going to ask for a phone call. That's not how that's segment three, actually. That's segment three. That's segment three, which is your time is broken, where you think after I spend 13 literal hours that I'm going to burn 30 minutes talking to one person that doesn't get recorded because you're like, oh, I don't want to be exposed on being a pansexual neurodivergent. Can't we just talk privately? That's segment three. How good of a hook is that? Because what we're doing right now is explain to me Web 12 like I'm 12. The channel is what they don't teach you in school. The channel originally was what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School. To me, it's the most straightforward thing, which is Web 12 before I even had a word for it, which is how do you go apply to a business school when you don't even study the classes at business school before business school? You see, this is your broken YouTube practice, which is you watch a video, you have no idea what the syllabus is, you have no idea what the agenda is, and if the content's amazing, then you say, oh, this must be a pump and dump. What? I don't want to pump you. I don't date women older than 27, okay? I don't. So why would I pump and dump a woman, right? Ditto, hey, this is a scam because you're talking about money, right? Why would I try to squeeze money from a poor person because YouTube is chock full of poor people? Why would I do that? Oh, well, poor people aren't poor. They can borrow money for a course, Larry. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for offering to be my business advisor, trying to get poor people to go into debt so they can buy a workshop that I don't want to sell, which is, hey, do you know that you might be a robot? I don't think you're a robot. I have a thesis that Steve Dittman might be a robot. OKO32, what's up? How are you? How are you? Not listening gets you put into timeout, where after your timeout, what's going to happen? You're going to come back with a piece of evidence that shows that you're not a robot. How? Can you listen to what I'm saying and answer your own question, which is, hey, Larry, do you think that 6'5" Chinese people get discriminated against within football, baseball, basketball? And then you can answer that question in the chat when you come back after a timeout. Explain to me Web 12 like I'm 12. Okay. 85th effort. Here it is. What if you knew about Bitcoin at $2,500? What if you knew about Bitcoin at $25? What if you knew about Bitcoin at $2.5? Because that's what Web 12 is right now. That is financial advice, which is you don't know what Web5 is because you spend too much time on YouTube, where the YouTube algorithm blocks stuff such as anti-vaccination for an mRNA vaccine that is not tested. I'm quite proud of myself for how amazing this video is going. Can you tell? Because what we're winning at is this. We're not going to blame an extraterrestrial for visiting this Earth and octopus. We're just not going to do it. Why? Why are we not going to do it? Because it's meant to be a distraction. It's meant to be a psychological operation to get you to lose focus from Web12. Think of this video in Web12 as a meditation where you temporarily quiet the outside world. Did I just turn into Larry Chang, yoga teacher who only has female students? No, and you need to be able to email because what you just said is totally wrong. It's just so wrong that it feels like you're 4 years away from a 4 year degree. And this is Web 12, where we're 4 years away from having more debt. That's the business model of a Canadian college that you did not go to, even though Canadian college was free. Oh, why is Larry Chang so hard on me? That's the next segment. Let's focus on Web 12. And now you're arguing with the guy who came up with Web 12 because AI is Web 12 and you're not connecting it. So AI is not like knowing Bitcoin at 2,500. That's not what AI is. It's like owning 30,000 Bitcoin and not understanding the three laws of thermodynamics that you outsource to AI. Do you see how you made it get really complicated because that's the pretzel of your brain? And then the pretzel of your brain continue to say the difference of AI needs a lot of work in skills. That's also incorrect. So you literally were able to say two sentences that were incorrect and then more incorrect while putting your own brain in a pretzel because you've actually got to be pretty smart to be that retarded. And when I say retarded, I'm about to give you money because if I said that you were dumb and hopeless, that would mean that you're just going to get stuck, which is also the problem on YouTube is a lot of people get stuck. Segment 0 is Larry, explain to me Web 12 like I'm 12. Segment 2 is why is Larry Chang so hard on me? Segment 2, it's 0, 1. 2 is 11 chefs in the kitchen of your head. You've got 4 chefs concocting that 2 sentences. You have 5 chefs or 1 chefs within your head saying 2 bad sentences back to back, where you could try to sway me to talk about, hey, Larry, what makes you happy? This is what makes me happy is putting robots into timeout while telling you what segment 3 is. Segment 3 is perfectly exemplified by you, which is your time is broken because you have a brain. It's not that you can't listen, it's that your clock is broken, where you could have just waited to guess at, hey, what makes Larry happy is getting through segment 0, which is Web12, explained to me like I'm a 12-year-old. So when you say, Larry, I'm not arguing, I'm trying to see what you see, you didn't yesterday write the 24 sentences because your brain is on a broken clock. Segment 3, your time is broken. The 24 sentences. Hey, Larry, I'm confused. Are you only talking to Julian? No, I am talking about what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School. That, for some reason, was too complicated for people. I dumbed it down to what they don't teach you in school. Then people started to tell me that not only did they not go to college, they barely finished high school. Okay, let's try to get dumber than high school related. And then I'm like thinking, hey, if I dumb it all the way down, we're going to get to Stanford Engineering Technology Entrepreneurship 145. It's a class at Stanford written at the 7th grade level. We're back to where we started because what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School is taught at engineering at the 7th grade level. Let's explain what I'm talking about while explaining the agenda, which is explain Web 12 like I'm 12. This is what it is: book club at a nightclub, book club at my house, my condo, after nightclub, book club at a hotel room because it's 2 girls, 1 book. Larry, are we talking about your dating life? We're talking about 2 girls, 1 cup of knowledge, Web 12. We're talking about 2 girls, 1 Larry Chang, 1 book. Guess who really liked that video on day 10 when the franchise was hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking bankruptcy? I minted a middle 6-figure deal to drop 1 word and call it hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Why did we swap OpenAI to Grok 4? Because I love money. Why did we switch 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK to be 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK? Because OpenAI is going bankrupt. Why? Because the CFO asked for a government bailout. Larry, is this related to Web 12? It is, because you don't use the free version of Grok 4. You don't. Now we're going to use Web 12, which is using Grok 4, using a thing that you still haven't written down. Why? Because you're an NPC. Going back to Julian, he decides not to do 2 girls, 1 Julian. Julian decides to do 1 girl, 1 book, 1 Julian. He comes back and says, oh my God, Larry, reading a book on a date was the best date ever. Yeah, you fucking think? I'm the one who came up with that idea. I go on dates like this, like a psychopath. That's Web 12, is you hear an idea and then you save $250 because the book that is the Patrick Bet David book, which is not a good book, get a better one, was already free because you already own one. You read 3 pages, you read 3 minutes, your 3 pages would take you 40 minutes. So you read 3 minutes, I read 3 minutes. then she reads 3 minutes. That's how two girls, one book work. It's like book roulette. It's like a three-way where there's only one penis in the three-way. One penis, one book. That's Web 12 is you tell me the 24 sentences of cool story, bro. I don't believe you. So, cool story, Julian. We don't believe you. We don't believe you because you still haven't shipped the 24 sentences. Everybody who's brand new to this, do you see how the 24 sentences makes it real? Because people will even hear this content and say, cool story, bro, you're a fraud. For example, who is Larry Chang? You look up the gossip and then you see, hey, his book seems to be unavailable. And then people who are losers, who hate to see winning, they'll say, oh, I think that's a fraud. What that is not being able to do Web 1, let alone Web 12, because I caught you. I caught you accusing me of being a cheat, a fraud, or a not philanthropic person. You see, this video is the most valuable video in the history of humankind. And know that I'm not a black person dropping a rap talking about a 6'7" Latrell Sprewell or a 6'7" Larry Chang, because then the meme of 6'7" wouldn't be 6'7", it would be 6'5". Fix your fucking meme. It's not a 6'7" dude, okay? It's a 6'5" dude telling you this is the most valuable video in the history of video or value. Why? Because it's Chinese shit talk. This is MLS All Star in a snippet video, which you should keep forever, which is All Star MLS. Is it All Star Major League Soccer, Larry? Because you went to the All Star game for Major League Soccer and all the associated parties? Yes, but also no. It's Major League shit talk. Now, the talk that I'm shitting out as shit talk, this is not Filipino person trash talk. This is definitely not white person trash talk, where you're yelling anti Semitic tropes from Mississippi to Tom Brady's nursing classmate at the University of Michigan who encourages sports betting. This is not that. This is major league shit talk. Why is this video the most valuable video in the history of video? Because you were able to write down your first $800 Easter egg nugget, which is Julian's 24 sentences encapsulated into Julian did that on day 10, 26 days of OpenAI ducking bankruptcy. Today is day 12, blonde billionaire day, Anna Annison, blonde billionaire day, Larry Chang, day 12. But the hashtag changed. It's now hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. I'm not even going to time you out because your pansexual energy, we're going to milk like it's morning glory milking farm. I'm milking the homo dudes who are throwing homo Hail Marys into a heterosexual ball of Web 12. Hat tip, Larry Chang. Can't stop, won't stop, Chang stop. Because this is your first $800 Easter egg, you're welcome. Hey, Larry, okay, I'm in. I'm going to do these things. But after I make $800, am I going to have to give you half? Fuck you. I don't want you to even have my name in your mouth because it took 800 videos for you to make one $800. And when I'm saying you've watched 800 videos, I'm not exaggerating. You've literally watched 20 videos. Me, I got this content from a book from 1983. I read it twice and I made $1 million. Did I cut Mark McCormack in for part of that $1 million? Actually, I forced it on him. Like, I asked for his consent. He's like, no, none needed. Hey, you really helped me. Can I give you something? No. And then I was like, you got to get him something. So then I used my IQ 488 brain to pump his book up. You're welcome. Mark McCormack, rest in peace, and bathe in my love. Rest in peace, Mark McCormack. Bathe in my love and thankfulness. Augie Garrido, rest in peace. Bathe in this emotional reality of Web12. Larry, who are those two old dudes? I care. You had a broken brain because you said those two old dudes don't matter to me. This is Web12. Is those two old dudes matter? I'm showing you how Web12 works, and you're trying to say, "Oh, instead of working, can we just meet on Grinder where I suck your D and then you just give me $16 or one slice of bread?" Because that's where we're all headed. This is the hell that is going to be on Earth every time when the currency dies, because because price controls are coming. Farm repossessions are coming. This is Web12, which is, I'm telling you that price controls have a higher probability of coming. What happens when there's EBT? This is still Web12, by the way. What happens when there's EBT? Somebody's paying for it. Right now, it turns out another country's paying for it. And I'm not talking about that little country that's the size of New Jersey. Can't even talk about that, which I don't need to talk about it. Price controls lead to screaming at farmers, sell it to me for less. You're being greedy. McDonald's isn't being greedy. They have to charge those prices because OpenAI, they're going bankrupt. If OpenAI is going bankrupt, McDonald's and other companies, they're headed towards the same fate. How do you benefit? You benefit here because you realize that even during full on communism, people still want to do two things. They want to fuck and they want to eat. Maybe you're so depressed that you don't actually want to have sex anymore. That's not an argument for, Larry, what you said is incorrect. Oh, it's really correct because during socialism, communism, the money and the D get centralized. So what we're doing is what we're doing is what we're doing is showing you that there's some form of capitalism even when it's full socialism. When the food runs out due to price controls and the farms getting taken over, everything in Australia by the book of when currency dies. Everything in Canada buy the book. Everything in the UK, buy the book. This is why this video is the most valuable video that's ever been made. And this is not chutzpah or moxie or confidence. This is segment 0 almost ending, which is, Larry, explain to me Web12 like I'm 12. Explain to me Web12 like I'm 12. Web12 is not dropping in emojis with our broken brain because we're trying to get a reaction. Where I do appreciate how you went from going full gay retard to way less retard, stay gay, keep slay, which is being able to hear content and then direct that content into a single digit number of dollars. Because what your brain has a hard time with is leaving zero. Most people's brains on YouTube or on social media, which is specifically Web2, is burn time, get no ROI for time. Definitely not investing money. And you've probably been burned investing money buying a workshop thinking that, oh, on the other side of the paywall is this. You can't say shit all because you won't do 24 sentences. What are you talking about? But it's very hard to be profitable. You would be in the money right now if you could have shipped your 24 sentences, which is Web12. Why am I so hard on Julian? Which is actually segment number 1. This is still segment 0. This is the perfect transition. It is this. I roll with the low quality questions, not being able to quiet the 4 chefs in your head, not shipping work, which is segment 3. Your time is broken. Let's use an example to make everything super clear. The example I'm going to use is a guy who got stuck. Let's call this guy, let's just give him a name. Let's just pull a name out of a hat. Let's call him Julian Burney. You see, Julian Burney, let's cite a day. Let's call it day 10 of hashtag. Somebody put this hashtag in the comments to see, and I'll take you out of timeout and I'll pin your message. Put this hashtag in the comments. Hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK. Why? Because that is profitable to a level that is going to eclipse all the profit in your under 38-year-old receding hairline brain. That hashtag is going to make more money than your entire life. And if you think that that's true, congratulations, you understand Web12. Congratulations, which is hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK. No, write it out, not okay, I'll finally do it. You see, you think that I'm your boss, or you think I might hire you, where I will never be your boss and I'll never hire you. Why is Larry Chang so hard on me? Because you should have been this hard on yourself. You not being very hard on yourself is actually incredibly insulting to me because it's you doubting me for, I don't think that this is good. It's you're doubting me where you're thinking, I don't know what I'm doing right now. My brain is broken and my time is broken. What we're doing here with this real example is, can you be less of a robot and do hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking DK. Because once that hashtag goes into the comments, this video is going to jettison upwards in value. By the way, Jonathan, A plus, buddy. Your 30 sentences are amazing with your area code 321 Winter Park. It's always the people who are from middle class backgrounds that have a shot. Hashtag, I'm so close to timing you out. Put the hashtag in because your brain is, look, and then now we're scaring other people off from the 3 segments that I've got queued up that are amazing because we're stuck on Web 0. See, explain to me Web 12 like I'm 0 or 12. Web 12, similar to Web 0, I'll explain it to you as if you're 12. When you read a book, at the end of a book, I know that's intimidating sounding because you've read 0.0 book this year. I know that's intimidating. Let me temporarily intimidate you while I explain to you Web 0. You see, at the end of a book, oh, but Larry, you're being condescending. Oh, what you think as playing the victim of condescension is actually me lifting you up by your buttocks because you're kind of a chubby girl. I'm going to cup your 2 buttocks and jettison you up off the sofa. In fact, that might be a good thing. Stand and stretch. Ladies, if you're in bed, okay, remove the fingers from between wherever. Stand up and let's get active. This is Web 0. At the end of a book, the author says, at the end of the book, the author says, this is my email, this is my phone number. Tell me what you thought about my book. That's Web 0, where can you write them a letter to their publishing house? Can you write them a letter that explains, hey, I read chapter 11, time, space, space, time, Joe Dispenza. This is what I did with it. Mark McCormack, I read chapter 6, your chapter on sales. This is what I did with it. I got a job at the Daily Illini. Now I'm a millionaire. Web 0. It's the end of the book where the author says, congratulations, you made it to the end of the book. Tell me what you thought. What most people will not do is this. They go to a keynote. They go to a place where a speaker speaks at the front and there's 800 people. At the end, you know what's going to happen. The speaker goes, cool, this is my email address. Ask me any questions. We're now friends. Air quotes, friends. When the speaker gives you so much value, that's why they are hired to speak. And now at the end, you say, cool, I'm definitely going to email them. So 500 of the 800 people will write down the email address, fully intending to email them. 2 days goes by, and now guess how many people have done Web 0? Because I'm explaining to you Web 12 like you're 12. This is why people get stuck, is they don't send 3 sentences. Why? Because they're trying to write 24 perfect sentences or 240 perfect pages in an email to a guy who just spoke to you with the most valuable content that you will ever hear. And this is a 13th request. Put the hashtag into the comments. Put the hashtag in, because when you refuse to do that, you're saying, yeah, Larry, don't talk to me like I'm 12. I get it. What's next? So there's a don't mansplain things to me, while please explain things to me. You see, words are meant to keep you in prison. Mansplain and tone policing is meant to curtail testosterone and knowledge. Is my testosterone going into your brain right now? Or does my high testosterone offend you? No, they're incredibly low standards and you're sloppy. But that's okay. No. But again, hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. The reason that that's a Easter egg, because Web12 is powered by Easter eggs. Let me repeat that, because that is a ginormous fudge you. I'm not even going to say fuck you. I'll say fuck you to you when you make 80K using hashtag 26 days of. I forget that you're here. 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 And also, DD, where is my Web12 work sent to LinkedIn? Because I see you creeping on my LinkedIn. And where is your work? And you don't moderate retards, because we need to power. This is powered by people saying pansexual neurodivergent things, where the first thing you did, Web12, the first thing you did with power is you did what postmenopausal women do when they finally get power, is they started to cancel people. This video is amazing. This video is amazing. This video is going to continue to be the best video that's ever been made in the history of Tube or You. Less policing the pansexuals, more Web12. Less, less, and more. But what we're doing is a quick timeout. A quick timeout. Not a timeout here, because can't stop, won't stop. Chang stop. Easter eggs. We're powered by Easter eggs. Notice my brain never losing train of thought. Easter eggs. By winning at Easter egg delivery, we're doing this. It'll be similar to a crack of our drug, which is voice crack. What is voice crack? Voice crack is where you hear an Easter egg and you say, oh my God, I want more. I want more. Give me more. Give me more. Here's the more is, Julian, where is that hashtag? Seriously, where is that hashtag? Where are the 24? Like, you're in what's called technical debt, meaning you're in debt with the two things that you owe yourself. You don't owe them to me. You don't owe them to the community, but you're you're in technical debt, which is, Julian, screw the 24 sentences. Where are the hashtag pseudo moderator DD duck D's? One, maybe switch to your real name, because when you're on LinkedIn calling yourself duck D's, that's highly suspect. Two, in YouTube loser curator language, drop the hashtag in the comments, which is the Easter egg. We're getting stuck on segment 0. Let's map out what we're YouTube living. Segment 0, explain Web12 to me like I'm 12. Segment 1 is, why is Larry Chang so hard on me? Segment 2 is 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind. Segment 3 is your time, tits broken, where we're solving why we don't ship. We're solving your procrastination. We're solving your brain hesitating on execution while having notifications go off, while you think that you deleting your Instagram was somehow a win against brain rot. This is brain repair. This video, I'm going to say it a sixth time because this is major league shit talking. This video absolutely will be the most valuable video that you have ever experienced. And I don't say that whimsically. I don't say that with my Caucasian side of my bloodline. I don't say that with any hesitation. And I definitely don't say it as a black dude dominating in basketball. Because when I'm dominating you in basketball, I'm apologizing because I can see your brain melting down because I'm literally dominating you. So now I need to like lift you up so that way you don't follow me and say, Larry, I'll suck your D if you show me how to play basketball in the way that you won. Okay. I don't want you following me home. I don't want some heterosexual dude literally on my jock saying, you're the best ever. Can I get your Instagram? That's not the shit that I was talking. The shit that I'm talking is, how did I take humor and have it be 100.0% true in an email? That's Web 0. In a web page, I don't want to even know about your social media. Where, DD, would you moderate real quick and then blow off? Are you even still here? That's cool. Your time is broken. You came in, you moderated some pansexual off the feed, and now you can't publish hashtag 26 days. Who wants to moderate this thing? First person to drop in the hashtag correctly gets to moderate. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Remember, we're on Easter eggs. This is Larry the Starfish. We're on Easter eggs. We're on Easter eggs. This is my starfish practice. These are all Easter eggs, even though they resemble starfish. I should have finger rolled since I was right there at the cup, which is why sometimes when I'm hesitant to dunk, I'll miss the layup because I'm up too high. Finally. So, how is that an Easter egg? and stop banning the pansexuals who are retarded. Larry Silverproof, modernity induced ADHD. Okay, you can stay because I know that you're hate watching, which is why I didn't put you in timeout. Because I can tell you're hate watching this, and now I know you're a human. I'll accept hate watchers. Why? Because if you're this bad against me, I know why I'm so hard on you, which is this is your brain on the last vestiges of self harm, is on the other side of 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 hate watching. It's going to be a collapse. It's kind of like you being a woman where you're like date number one and you are 6 minutes in, and then you go, hey, by the way, by the way, I'm not going to sleep with you later. Thank you for telling me that you're thinking about it. That's the last vestiges of removing barriers. This is a ram. He's removing barriers. This is a starfish. Oh, the finger roll at the cup. Amazing. Amazing. You thinking that I care about subscribers helps me knowledge activate. Larry, explain Web12 to me like I'm 12. Web2's broken model is begging for likes, begging for subscribers, begging for, if you could support my channel, it'd be great if you could unsub and unlike. If you could support my channel, I'd really appreciate you subscribing. That really helps the algorithm. Those are people that don't have valuable content. They're thinking that the next 10 videos you watch will finally be good for you. This is also losers who say, yeah, this content's pretty good, right? But the content's going to get even better on the other side of the paywall. Terrific question, Alex Connolly. I'm going to make a new rando the moderator. Why? Because you're going to not only moderate yourself, no pressure to moderate other people, but you're going from stranger to legendary person to accepting this Easter egg. Maybe you've watched a prior video before. I don't remember you. And if you have watched prior videos, you are compiling a springboard. In basketball, we call it load. In baseball, we call it load. We get into an athletic position, which I actually am right now, and I'm going to load and explode. That's you, dude. You are loading a high quality question from out of not even left field. You're loading as a pinch hitter who isn't even on the roster. Not going to throw you. I'm going to keep you. Why? Because we're stuck on segment 0. Larry, explain Web12 to me like I'm 12. Load. We want to do Web 0, which is emailing and texting. Oh, that does make sense. because you watch and you don't shit talk, which is a prior video that I did for under 4 minutes, which is All-Star MLS, Major League shit talking. Major League shit talking. Don't, don't, don't ban people or get rid of people. Don't. Okay, this is what we're doing. Web0 is where we text people the author book. Oh, Larry's just trying to get my private information. I feel dirty every time I get talked to. I'm doing this as a danger to myself, revealing what my real phone number is 650-283-8008 in my profile. What you don't get is I wanted to become the most valuable person within Silicon Valley with an IQ under 90. Why? It's like playing basketball and winning. It's like playing football and saying after you win the Arrowhead Annual Invitational, which is in Kansas City, the Arrowhead Annual Invitational, which is you got to go play football in Kansas City. Good luck at the Arrowhead Invitational. After winning the Arrowhead Annual Invitational, someone who I mentored said, I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Technically, Tom Brady should have said, I'm the second baddest motherfucker on the planet because Larry Chang. That's Web 12. That's Web 0. That's Web 5 and 4. So explain to me Web 12 like I'm 12. Web 3 was always a shit show of shit never solved. That's Web 3, where we are succeeding at doing a turnaround while operating as a football player, which is similar to Colette pretending to be a woman as a man who's a woman with low testosterone. That's a football player turning around a rental car company. Am I explaining to you what Web 12 is? By the only way to truly understand Web 12 is to do Web 12. Why? Because Tom Brady is doing Web 12. What is Web 12? It's an external API into the Tesla company by running a Hertz commercial. Let me repeat that because I'm still watching. Don't worry, paying attention. So, what you're doing with Web 12 is we're not going to do a deal together. We're not going to have any kind of employment relationship. Is that Tom Brady and Tesla? Yes. Tesla and Tom Brady do not have a employment relationship, a promotional relationship. They have no relationship. Who's the number one commercial actor on commercials promoting Tesla on a TV commercial? Who's number one? Do you see how this is the most valuable video you've ever watched? Because I'm explaining things that are hitting you in the face. They're hitting you in the face, and you're like, Larry, the Illuminati is like a Jewish run org that's the friars, priors, hires. This stuff is all at the library. There's no secret society. It's just a Jedi in business administration. It's just a Jewish business administration. Are you offended that a Caucasian person went and did it? No, because all of this information has been written on papyrus since time began. Do you finally get what Web 12 is? Is you don't have to You don't have to call Y files and say, hey, I'm a content creator. Can I get Hecklefish as a guest on my show? You don't have to do that. That's what everyone's trying to do right now. Do you hear what Hecklefish said? He said, don't be a sheep. I was about to upgrade it to some harder language, but that I'm going to save for the next segment that is going to be a segment that you're going to want to watch with one of your friends, cohort mentors. I've never asked you to bring someone else along. So, Web12, this spam comment, it should have been a 12 sentence, it should have been a 12 sentence email. That's what Web12 is can you watch a video and do an external API, hashtag external API. First person to comment external API gets to buy me a $90 gift card to Let Us Entertain You restaurants. First person to put hashtag external API gets to buy me a $90 lunch to Let Us Entertain You restaurants. Why? Because you'll be able to make $800 from Moon Boy's testimonial, which is problematic, but will be a perfect setup for why is Larry Chang so hard on me? Cool, Alex. You're so welcome. Yeah, wrong. LinkedIn. This is on LinkedIn, Duckies. Using your fake name, tag me on LinkedIn for hashtag external API. Now you'll understand why on LinkedIn, I am friends with one person who's the most powerful person in Silicon Valley for venture capital. They added me. How good am I at Web2, social media networking? I'll be honest, Larry, it was probably the worst mistake I ever made in my life. There you go. There you go. It was called a backhanded compliment. It wasn't quit your job, go speak at a conference. It was a talk on November 9 called November 10 called How to Speak at Any Conference, even though you're unemployed, which is actually accurate because the job that you quit was a 1099 job doing not even DoorDash because the bar for that's pretty high. It's probably one of those third tier delivery orgs that are super sketch, super sketch. So that's not even quitting a job. That's just me busting you, Moon Boy. Good job, Larry Chang. This is Web12 segment 0. What is Web12? It's an external API into the web. Let me repeat that because two of you have been able to enter the gift card contest. And that gift card contest was going to be me as the rich dude giving people $30 to $200 gift cards. That experiment ended horribly. Why? Because it made people even more angry because this is like it made people even more angry. This is like when the Victoria's Secret model stalks you. True story, those are the most scariest because you look the person up in the security camera and you're like, Larry, I wish I were you because the girl you've never met before, she's represented by a modeling agency. Like that's really her. And she isn't unhinged. She's never been to a mental institution. She looks like this is the first time. This looks like her first time. That's why no gift cards. Web12 gift cards. Tom Brady is flipping out Hertz gift cards for you to test drive a Tesla. Do you see how Web12, it gets super complicated in a hurry because you can do what Tom Brady did in doing what we do, which is a turnaround. Larry, what do you do for money? The reason you don't ask, ladies, is you'd be intimidated. This is what I do for money is I turn shit around. Big corporations, small corporations don't pay as well. Big corporations that are fudged up, I get paid an obscene amount of money. Obscene amounts where my parents think I am either a drug dealer or lying or a magician. Most people that do turnarounds, they're octogenarians. Why? It's just it's just what happens. You could be an octogenarian trapped in a 40-year-old's body. Oh my God, ageless body, timeless mind, not segment 4. Somebody remind me to do that as a segment 4 because you don't have to be 39 years old with a receding hairline, which you are. You can be a 45-year-old because you look 45, 50. You could be a 40, you could be a 38-year-old intern, not my intern, but running an external API into being an intern. You don't have to be 80 to be 80 mentally. If you're wise beyond your years, such as Alex Connolly, enthusiastically wanting to sign up to buy me a Let Us Entertain You gift card, you're now in the correct mindset to succeed, which is why I took literally a rando and made him a moderator. This is Y files. You don't call them and beg for a partnership. Oh, if I only had a partnership, we could be partners because that would be sheep. This is Web12 is we don't act like sheep, we act like sheepdogs. You thought I was going to say wolf. We want to be sheepdogs, which I blame those 3 Australian shepherds for not saving those 280 ostrich. But truth be told, we're all those ostriches, or you guys are, because you're about to get culled from the herd. Why? History 6,500 times have done exactly what history is doing. This is the most valuable video that anyone will ever make. Don't act like a sheep, act like a sheepdog, blame Australian shepherds. Got it. There you go. This is why we're not blaming the ostriches, we're blaming the ostriches for not understanding what an Australian shepherd is, which is strangers on our property about to execute people. Oh, fiat currency has died 6,600 times. Money dies exactly the same way to the point where it repeats and rhymes. That's why I'm looking at 3 countries: UK, cliche; Canada, cliche; Australia, cliche, cliche. Is this Web12 at a slightly higher level where you're not going to be able to get an Easter egg from it? Yeah. Hey, man, hate to correct you. You sure? Sure. Sure. See, what you're doing there is you're doing page 127, page 132. I'm doing Web 12 to you, where You're saying, Larry, emus got assassinated in cult. That's page 127. That's page 132 of a book I've never mentioned. This is Web12, which is the rational male. You're being a little girl during my appropriately titled, Larry, explain Web12 to me like I'm a 12-year-old girl. And I'm not saying that you are invited to stay. You just have hopefully not violated YouTube's COPPA, Child Online Privacy Protection Act. So I'm hoping that you're a 38-year-old pretending to be a 12-year-old girl while being 38 years old, doing page 127, page 132, which is trying to out alpha the alpha male during this video that is clearly the most valuable video that has ever been launched. Why do I laugh? I'm not laughing because I'm lying. I'm laughing because it's the 8th time and I'm showing you why. Because I'm staying on script during the side quest, going back into Web 12. Web 12. Australia, UK, Canada, fucked. Why is it that the perpetrators get forgiven where the victim who got injected with alcohol was penalized? This is by the book, Currency Dying. This is by the book. Rational Male. Rational Male. This is right out of Rollo Tomasi, aka George Miller, right out of his book. This is Web 12. This is why when you run Web 12 like this, not losers slide into your DMs, the author slides into your DMs. This is what Web 12 is, which is Rollo Tomasi, the prior example. When you Web 12 somebody else's brain, you read their book or watch their video and say, I applied your book. I applied your book. This is how. When that happens, the author, if they're rising, must do a collab with you. Must. Why? Because you're on a trajectory that makes sense to them, which is this Web 12 exercise, springboarding again. Remember, we're loading and then exploding. This is the load, explode, load, explode, load, explode. That's a kangaroo trying to get away from the Australian snipers that are trying to shoot him in the head. Load, explode, change direction. What we're doing with this load is this. Ooh, running dangerously low. Gonna rectify. Pretty bear. You want me to brush you? Rational Male, page 127, page 132. Coincidentally, also Snowball, Warren Buffett, Alice Seibold. Load, explode, Web 12. What you're doing in order to make money is you're loading potential money. This is what Web5 is. I'm not laughing at you for being less smart than the number one smartest human on the planet. I'm not. I'm laughing because I'm doing this as a person with 30% lower IQ than you, running circles around everybody on the planet, which is this is Web5. This is money. This is money, which is can you load up 4 books? Prior rational mail. Let's do it again. Can you do it again, Larry? Yeah. It's going to a lunch that Joe Dispenza's not even speaking at. Seeing that people are crowding around Joe Dispenza. Me going over there and saying, hey, after waiting in line, while listening, not just waiting to talk. Oh, am I next? Hi, Joe Dispenza. I'm Larry Chang. What I read I read your book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I also read Evolve Your Brain. I also read You Are the Placebo. And counterintuitively, the best book of your 4 book series is Becoming Supernatural. And he's like, whoa, you're really good at reading my books. He's also kind of scared because I had a lot of testosterone and because I'm like over a foot taller than him. I'm like, do you mind being in a picture? He's like, yeah, sure. And I said, can I borrow this guy's book? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I know I should be carrying my book with me, but I have memorized chapters 1 through 14, chapter 1 through 5, The Science of You, chapter 6, 7, 8, Your Brain on Meditation, chapter 9 through 14, Stepping Towards a New Destiny. That's what's required to be a billionaire. But let's say you want to set your sights a little bit lower and say, I just want to get out of my credit card debt. Stop watching other retards on YouTube. Maybe start joining Web12, which is, oh, so if I have that good of a brain, yeah, you want to have that good of a brain if you want to play in Silicon Valley and dominate. But let's say you live in some depressed area where they're lying to you about the fact that you're in a Great Depression. What do you do then? This is what you do. Pro tip before making green tea is you don't want to burn it, which is why right before it boils, that's the perfect temperature. In a Great Depression, they're just lying to you. Why is it a depression? Because using treasury and central banking, the suppression is the overt war on the middle class. That's why you bring in immigrants, is you hammer the middle class. That's why you allow for massive crime to occur. Why? Because you need the middle class scared and asking the government, hey, will you protect me? This is why you take the guns away. Bullet traders, you need to, oh my God, oh my God. This is Web12, is, oh my God. Bullet traders making, oh my God. So normally I would be if I were a regular YouTube content creator. I'd be, yay, good job. Everybody look at Bullet Traders. But I'm going to tell you that you're being a retard that can't pay attention to Web12. Let's catch people up on Great Depression because you're experiencing a depressed learning curve. I'm going to explain everything to everybody in the next 8 sentences. Bullet Traders. First video he watched was, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 8 videos in. Says a comment out of the blue, which is, Larry, I made 6 figures watching your video. Bullshit. Cool story, bro. Never texted, never emailed. All of a sudden, you're making 6 figures. Something's up. I'm good at Web12. What is Web12? You hear something and then you do something. Bullet Traders, why the F does your domain not have 5 web pages of Larry Chang videos? Because if you would have had it, you would have only made $800 because you're fucking retarded. You should be making way more than $800. Just because I'm saying $800 doesn't mean, oh, Larry said I could make $800 in 4 hours, but then it took me 3 hours and now I made $2,000. So like that's good, right? No, it's not good. No. Why is Larry Chang so hard on me is the next segment. This is not scripted, even though you are scripting yourself into these segments. Welcome to my channel. Segment 0. Explain Web12 to me like I'm 12. Load and explode 17 times. Joe Dispenza. Chapter 15. That's Web12, which is, hey, let's collaborate on your next book, which is Stepping Towards a New Destiny. By the way, I went ahead and wrote that shit for you already, Web12. That domain you're thinking about selling, why don't you have 5 web pages that are summaries to 5 Larry Chang videos? It's not that you haven't met a person that talked about Web3 shit, because you have 18 web pages, 6 web pages for Web12. What's Web12? Explain it to me like I'm 40 years old with a PhD in thermodynamics, cryptography. 6 videos on Web5, which Larry Chang's talking about Web5. Do you see how you saying 6 figures with shit talk of a white or black person? This is a Chinese person fixing your shit talk, because you don't want to just take 2K just because I said $800. You want to make more money. This is what we're doing. Why don't you have 6 pages, web pages, which is, what is a web page? It's something that you've never published. Remember when AI first came out and you said, wow, I can use this to write a book? And then how many people actually used AI to write a book to make $800 on Amazon? 0 people, except for Morning Glory Milking Farm. I mean, thank you for helping me, but help me help you make the 6-figure shit talk that you talked shit on, okay? Carlos Coelho chiming in. You get to be a moderator. You're going to fuck up. This is what happens when postmenopausal women get in power. Carlos Coelho is a postmenopausal woman, which is cool. You have a lot of testosterone. That's why you've got that mustache going. Did I just solve endometriosis, which is a vaginal dysfunction? Ditto polycystic ovarian syndrome. True story, what this feminist movement needs is a lesbian named Larry Chang. Thank you for telling me that. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me that you're retarded. I almost put you in timeout where I'm trying to pin your message. Look, you have me literally all turned around. Do you want me to? Do you want me to? Do you want me to do it? Like, what is? This is also Web12. Is when you ask AI, Asian intelligence, when you ask AI, American intelligence, how can I post 5 web pages? That shows me that you don't know how a website works, which is you email me the web page and I'll post it at Duck9 for you and point it for, I almost said point it at you for $400, but you know what? Fuck that. Give me $2,000. Why? Because you're not making enough money. Buy me a gift card. Oh, is this how you make money? No, this is how I make jokes because I'm being hilarious and I'm asking you for a $2,000 gift card. Why am I asking for a $2,000 gift card? Because Alex is more than happy to give me a $80 gift card. You're going to have to really work hard to get it to me. Why? This coconut water is delicious. It's hilarious on 5 levels. That's 12 levels of hilariousness. Who's watching this and not liking? Why is Larry Chang so hard on me? I'm hard on you because you stopped making money at $800. You stopped. Larry at duck9.com. Larry at duck9.com. Lawrence.chang at gmail. Web12 is like a mix of Web1, Web2. I feel like we're spending too much time on Web12. Let's go to the next segment while explaining Web12 like we're 12 years old. Do you like that? Because right now we're on segment 0 and we've got 3 more segments. We're 87 minutes in. Block out your schedule because we're going to make the most amazing video in the history of YouTube. Is this the same lunch that Alex is going, but you at Bayou? No, we're not. It's just a $90 gift card or 80 or 70. I don't remember what the joke was because it feels like I should be the one giving you a gift card. But if I do that, people get scared because I'm already giving you $800 via a business protocol, which is why I'm so hard on you, because making money is so easy during a fiat collapse. That's Web 4 is the reason you feel like you're in a Great Depression is you're standing very far away from the money printing that's going on in Washington, D.C. This is how America is able to keep prices relatively low, is that the United States exports our inflation. Where are the 3 countries that we export inflation most to? UK, Australia, and Canada. Why? Because those 3 useless countries love borrowing money. This video is amazing, by the way, and I'm having a really good time doing it. Why is Larry Chang so hard on me? You're welcome. And look at how no one said thank you. Nobody said thank you. Nobody has said thank you. At best, it's, oh, what's your email? Like nobody said, oh my God, thank you. Well, two people, but those are the people that made money. And Bullet Traders, who is, there you go. It's always the rich people who are fastest on the gift card, fastest on uh chime in if you're multitasking, stop, chime in and tell me that you're still here because the content alters if you're distracted. Well, well, if you are acting like a little girl, you're going to get called a little girl. Hopefully, you're over 22 and younger than 23, and no, I still don't want to date you. Alex, are you still here? There you go. Bing's here. Stop watching in the background. This is going to be the most valuable video that you've seen. Did you explain it already? Well, I have to watch from the beginning. Oh, I'm going to be explaining it all throughout. Best script ever. You see, life's hard. M. Scott Pleck wrote a book about it. YouTube is not an escape. YouTube is not a vacation. YouTube is a prison. Number two, prison. Why is YouTube a prison? Because YouTube is a reflection on our world. Our world is a jail with no bars. Oh, but Larry, I've seen those prison movies. You go to prison and then you get a JD degree. You become a lawyer in prison. If you guys were to be in prison, which you are right now, you would not get a law degree because you don't have a law degree. I pseudo do have a PhD in law. I know that just blew your brain because Harvard Law School, keynote, what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School. That's the keynote, which is understanding law. What I'm saying here is we've seen those movies where the criminal goes to prison and then they become better in prison. Do you know how hard it is to get a law degree in prison? Nobody else is doing that. You you are a sheep. You do what everybody's doing. Everybody, well, except for now. Now you're listening to Larry Chang and you're like, I'm the only person getting Web12. This is amazing. Number two, why is Larry Chang so hard on me? It's prison. Can you get a degree? Now, I'm not going to give you a degree, and if I were to, you would have gotten it already. You would claim, Larry, I already made 8 figures doing your Jedi in Business Administration. There are hundreds of Larry Chang videos about getting a Jedi in Business Administration. I'm not going to say that's water under the bridge, but that's prison. You could have gotten a degree already within my channel. Oh, but Larry, my my algorithm is I need to have a video have more than 70,000 views and fewer than 300,000 views in order for me to view it once, which is you reliant upon the YouTube algorithm. You've become reliant on a prison with no bars because you're a slave to the algorithm. This is you understanding what the red pill is, which is a movie. It's called The Matrix. You've seen clips, you don't understand it. You've seen portions of Larry Chang content, you don't get how this is stage one of blue pill into red pill. But now, because of COVID and the fact that you got the vaccine at least 3 times, where I was not allowed to talk about the opinion that I clearly understood, which is buy me some food. You see, when you're buying me food at a Let Us Entertain You restaurant, you are doing food for mentorship. You don't actually have to buy me the food. It's just nice that you offered it. You don't have to buy me a $45 lunch gift card for the first person to put into the comment hashtag JBA, which is Jedi in Business Administration. First person to do that gets to buy me a $45 lunch. You're not eating it with me. You're sending me a $45 gift card. Jedi Business Administration. YouTube, being the prison that it is, seeing as how I'm still in prison, is Texans for vaccine choice. Do I have a button in each house to remind myself that certain states wanted to kill 40% of their citizens? Good job. $45 gift card. If not eating with you, where's the value in that? And there you go. There you go. There you go. Why is Larry Chang so hard on me? I'm hard on you because your money map is messed up. Because why is Larry Chang so hard on me? I could be the hero. If you don't see the value in giving me a $45 gift card, which I don't want from you, you don't get how money is made, which is that $45 you'd happily give me if you would have made $800 per video for the 400 videos you've already watched. Because this clipped would be 450 videos that you could clip. And do you see why I made you guys moderators? Is because I don't want you moderating the pansexual homosexuals throwing gay and lesbian Hail Marys by saying, Larry, I'm a lesbian, but I'm curious in your masculinity because of your brain, right? Because the moderation that you're doing is you're moderating your own brain. Per sentence, I gave $45 per sentence in over 500 sentences, right? Hour and a half, 500 sentences, $45 each. And for you to say, I want to pay zero, that's a heat check. Is that bullet point number 4, heat check? I could be the hero of this story in prison, being the Larry Chang version of Shawshank Redemption, which is, hello, the Andy Dufresne little friend, he got shot because he was going to spring Andy from prison. Because you said, if not eating with you, where's the value in that? YouTube is a prison with no bars. There's a lot of TV. True. Why is Larry Chang so hard on me? Honorary PhD. So, using YouTube and books, I got an honorary PhD in 9 categories. But let's just focus on one Joe Rogan video. I'm not a huge fan. I'm an okay fan. Joe Rogan is interviewing James Nestor. Good job. Bullet Traders, aka Adam, send me 5 web pages in an email where each email subject line is the topic of the web page. Let's try to make you significantly more money than $2,000. And you're fucking welcome, dude. You're fucking welcome. This is what the 9-way PhD is. Let's go PhD number 1. Pulmonary, a pulmonary PhD. And I know I'm laughing, but this shit is so fucking easy that it's like I'm talking to 12-year-olds. And that's okay because you got to meet Larry Chang in a non persona in a level of honesty. 3-pointer, baby! 3-pointer. Sometimes I'll shoot shots right by my dog's ear and he'll be like, bro, that could have killed me. But he doesn't think I could have died. He thinks the person who slaves me food for Be Fast and the meal after lunch shoots 100.0% of his shots accurately. If I miss, I'm going to be damaging my dog, Tom Brady. Honorary PhD, shit talking. That could be a PhD. I have a PhD in shit talking, not black person shit talking, because all y'all are off balance. And don't even get me started about white people shit talk. Don't even get me started about that. Just so much confidence. Not enough competence, not no competence. PhD in shit talking from your first Chinese friend. We're not going to be friends, but this is going to simulate a mentorship. This is going to simulate a Chinese friend that you should have had 10 years ago who was never honest with you the way that you needed to be honested to. Meaning, we are not friends now, but 10 years ago, we were friends and I told you shit and you didn't listen. Because 10 years ago, I posted some genius YouTube videos, but no, you didn't think that the pussy magnet knew what he was talking about, and you maybe half watched and then clicked away to well produced, well honed, well curated, polished up shit that didn't keep you focused. Why is Larry Chang so hard on me? Are you ever going to explain point number 6, your PhD in shit talking? I am. My nose itching because I'm going to kiss a fool. I kiss females, so yeah, that's just what's going to happen. I don't even understand that playing the dozens. What are you trying to get me to say stupid shit? Congratulations, you did. Let's go. Shit talk. Let's go. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, James Nestor. He's doing an interview during COVID, and I just aced COVID, aced the beer virus like I was playing 5D chess. Chess, Dungeons and Dragons, video gaming. That's not what I did during COVID. Those are the games that we're practicing. Somebody write that down for point number 6A. Can you make $800 selling this video called Why is Larry Chang So Hard on Me? If you don't make at least $800 for points 1 through 11, you are a retard. You are a retard, and you don't need the $800 because you're saying, Larry, I don't want to just make $800. I want to make $600,000. Well, everybody who's made $600,000 who is currently a billionaire, they remember their first $13 that they made because I watched them do it. I watched them and I was screaming at them to do one sit up, you chubby bunny. This is your chubby bunny This is you being chubby, fat, obese, no longer obese. Joe Rogan, James Nestor. It's during COVID and it's early in COVID. They do an interview and the segments on breathing. I'm like, breathing? Are you what? This guy, Joe Rogan, is reaching deep into the barrel and he's desperate. He's desperate. Desperate. Is that even true? I'm black and I don't know that. So I think that's inaccurate. But we're not going to argue about that because that's not my PhD. My PhD is in deeply understanding Chinese knowledge. Shit talk. So it's Chinese shit talk. Telling Joe Rogan that he's scraping the bottom of the barrel. Not to his face, but maybe I would have to his face, but then I would have pulled myself out of my page 127, page 132 deep dive of pulling myself out of a tailspin. James Nestor, Joe Rogan. People who do karate get to the higher echelons when they breathe better, holding their breath, changing facial structure by breathing better. Because I was sleeping with women who had a chubby face where I couldn't be seen in public and I didn't want to inflate their face with testosterone, like cum shots, and also uh, the face injections at a medical spa. What are those called again? Botox. It turns out via breathing, your face can look better. Ditto Nadi Shodhana breathing, page 43. I have made literally hundreds of millions of dollars just on one page of James Nestor's book. That's Web12, where I look at a billionaire dude with a face that's fucked up, and I'll be like, hey, are you enjoying vacation? I think we flew near each other. I think we flew near each other. And every billionaire that I cold open is like, thank God the quant showed up because I'm going to need help with the financial dashboard because I'm not good at math. So when I talk to you at breakfast, it's please sit down. Can I buy you breakfast? Thank you for talking to me. The reason I'm talking to you as a billionaire is I'm about to give you 10 years. That is how I cold open. I don't need to ask to borrow 72 bucks, but I will tell you, thank you. You're buying me the rest of my meals. Is it because I can't buy my own food at the Miami Four Seasons or Cantor Fitzgerald, Ritz Carlton, Miami Beach? It is not that. In fact, I lose credibility with the staff who thinks that I have a sugar daddy, meaning I'm not buying any of my food. I'm in a big boy suite and I'm not buying any of my food. Something's really wrong. So, the way a hotel works is you call everybody by their last name. Welcome, Mr. Chang. Good morning. It's Mr. Chang this, it's Mr. When you never pay for stuff, it looks weird because they're like, why is some other dude paying for 100% of your shit? Well, this is why. It's page 43. It's Nadi Shodhana breathing. I know you have a CPAP machine. you're not using it on the road, and you're not using it at home. Two girls, one book. Two dudes, one book. So, when your face has inflammation, your neck has inflammation. This is my PhD in pulmonary night breathing. Did I just make up my PhD? Yeah, because your neck is fat and I know you have sleep apnea. And let's say you don't have sleep apnea, then you're lying about the fact that you don't have sleep apnea. Larry, does this shit talk have any resemblance of a point? Tell me what my point is. Tell me what my point is. First 5 people to tell me what my point is get to buy me a $140 lunch at the Ritz Carlton in 2026 when Cantor Fitzgerald repeats the same conference. So what is the value? What was I going to say? Because the question was, Larry, does this shit talk have any conclusion? Because it does in my mind. Does it yet in your mind? This is number 7, basic GED shit. I'm going to get you your double GED because you barely graduated high school. So this is you acing high school by me going back in time and giving you, Larry, this is the punchline. No, you're too Scottsdale. You're too Scottsdale. You're too Scottsdale. It's Miami South Beach. But leveraged finance for Deutsche Bank is at the Scottsdale Princess. You're fucking welcome. That's another $800. What was the point of my shit talk? Anybody? This is why you're getting hard on, yelled at, hard on. This is why Larry Chang is so hard on me. Is the point of this shit talk is it's just the one page, Nadi Shodhana breathing. The reason that the person needs a CPAP, constrained positive air pressure, is the fat neck is causing them to snore. And when you breathe out of your mouth, death is a single digit number of decade away. Let me repeat my joke PhD in pulmonary flow at night for chubby necks. That's the name of my thesis. Because that thesis is worth a lot of money. Why is it a lot of money? Why was it a lot of money? I'm not guessing at your stuff. My God. Why would I guess at your stuff? Because this is also your brain on money. It's just the one page, page 43. It's Nadi Shodhana breathing. This is James Nestor. So this is a PhD in shit talk. This is your basic GED, which is you just hammer that one page. What page number is it? So if you remember the page number, I'll let you buy me a $32 lunch at Subway. Maybe Subway only costs $11. Actually, you know what? I bet a Subway lunch now, I bet it costs, by the time you actually understand this video, $35, which is 2 years from now. So when you finally understand this, because you're watching the tape, that's your gift card gift. The basic GED component of now having aced high school, because YouTube has so many people who got sold the lie of college is just a piece of paper. That's a lie. And I'm not saying go back and do college because now it's too late because we're at the end stage of socialism turning into communism. But the good news is that there is not an invading force that's going to force the reserve currency to be that nation's reserve currency. Who do we have to thank for that? We have to thank a Chinese dude pretending to be a white dude, pretending to be a Japanese dude. Did I just explain Web5 to you while helping you understand that the United States will never lose reserve currency status to another country? Why won't you answer the questions that you're posing to yourself? Are you distracted? Timing out. You're now timed out. You're now timed out. You're not timed out here. You're timed out because that's your effort in getting to this segment. What are we addressing? We're addressing explain Web12 to me like I'm 12 while simultaneously able to answer the question, why is Larry Chang so hard on me? I'm hard on you because I have the answers to the test. What test is that? The test of, hey, I'm in the middle class right now. I'm getting fucked. Fucked. The test. We're in a test right now, which is can you survive the YouTube algorithm trying to control and psychologically operate your brain? The United States never losing reserve currency to another country is good news. That's Web4. But it's also simultaneously bad news because the reserve currency, it's already arrived. That's Web5. That's Web12. I helped you make money using Web4. 5, 12, Web4, turbo hike. Before the football has started in motion, I have won on 13 levels, 12 levels, definitively 2000 of Bullet Traders levels, and also Alex, who is now checked out. Came in, dropped a couple good moderator things, became moderator, and then mentally got distracted with with work from work, which I understand. Working from work, working from home, working your side job, watching other content not made by Larry Chang. Number 9. This is why I'm so hard on you. Is that the way that you've come to understand the world is by trying to get a consensus. And I'm laughing because I'm having such a good time because what group of people do that? Women. Women make decisions on consensus. When you make decisions on consensus, you're screwed. Have you seen a Marvel movie lately? Have you seen a superhero movie that sucks? That movie was directed by consensus. That script, also consensus. By trying to make everybody happy, you make Larry Chang happy because I'm watching you poop the film Moneybed. I'm watching you as a financier shit the money bed. Is this the Tom Cruise character in Tropic Thunder? You shit the money bed. Why did you poop the money bed like you have diarrhea 5 times a month? Because you overindulged on the diuretic. It's watering down my content with, hey, I just heard the most valuable video that I'll ever watch. Can I get some confirmation from other people to make sure that I'm confirming that this is the most valuable video you'll ever watch? That's why I'm so hard on you and why I don't charge any money, which is I get entertainment from watching people water it down. Unstuck, number 10. This is segment 1 within what is Web12 and why is Larry Chang so hard on me? The next segment you'll absolutely enjoy and love, 11 chefs in the kitchen of your head, because it also explains how to get unstuck and unroboted. The last segment is going to be killer, which is your time is broken. In the same way that Joe Rogan interviewed James Nestor, and I have literally made billions of dollars. And that is because I have a honorary PhD. What is that PhD in? We just made it up the same way that I made up Web12 on July 11. That would be 4 months of Web12. Kind of like Bitcoin at less than $8 per Satoshi, you're still early. This is inning 1 of Web12. This is how to get unstuck. You don't get demoralized about Web12 the way that you got demoralized about Web5 Bitcoin, because no one else knows about Web12, like maybe 80 people. And everyone's like, no, I'm going to adopt it when everyone else adopts it. Oh, so you're going to literally be a sheep and wait for other wait for 5 people to say, yeah, Web12, that's the ticket. You see, the way I adopt new technology is I go every other. I'll just go all in on. Why? Because I'm not going all in on everything. That makes me not happy. This is why I never did Reddit. I never did Reddit. That's why I did YouTube, because Steve Chen and Chad Hurley were like, hey, will you upload a video? I'm like, how do I do that? And they're like, we got to download an app. I'm like, can I just email a video? He's like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't you guys work at a company where I could just email money? In fact, I came up with that. Oh, so you're saying you would upload a video if you could email it? I'm like, yeah. Can I email publish a video? And Chad and Steve were like, yeah, we'll get somebody to do it. That's why I'm an early adopter on YouTube, is you could email a video to publish it. Web3 sucks, and that's what we're solving, which is you asking mediocre questions. That's why you're stuck. Is $800. Who coined the phrase Web3? That would be Larry Chang. Now, do you see how I could easily be accused of fraud here? And why do I claim to be the coiner of a piece of shit? We're raw dogging. Raw dog. A dog who's raw. A raw dog. by claiming that I coined the phrase Web3 makes me sound not good. How did that occur? Because I thought Web2 wasn't real. I thought Web2 was made up shit. Web2, the social web, that's Web1. You can have one web page talk to another web page by HTTP hypertext transfer protocoling into another web page. Somebody who I literally parked $2,000 at for $0 had the question, "Hey, Larry, my name's Adam. How do I publish 5 web pages?" What? Really? What? That's the state of Web12, which is not punching down to Web3. So when I heard what Web2 is, you now understand how I made middle 6 figures day 11 to day 12. Technically, it took 2 days, day 10 to day 12. Day 10, first person to put this into the chat gets to transfer a $50 gift card. Not required. It's worth way more. Hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK. Day 10. What is today? Today is day 12. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Where's Waldo test for $800 from you to you? You can keep all of it. Where's Waldo test? What changed from day 10 to day 12? What changed? Because the way that you listen is low socioeconomic. The way that you listen is I'm just going to passively listen for the one thing that is going to make me $1 million. If you're a man, if you're a blonde billionaire, you're thinking everything I say, you're going to lop up because you've got that hungry puppy look in your eye. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, because you've heard other blonde females. Right on cue, Anna Annison, which I will be popping a video on inside of 60 minutes. You're fucking welcome. You're fucking welcome. So, how do you get unstuck? This is how. Day 10, hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK. Day 12, 6 figures, hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. What changed? What changed? Number 11, unrobot yourself by answering that question. Segment 2, 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind. Problem. Who told you what? It turns out most people literally don't remember because most losers who stay losing, they're looking for consensus. That's also why Web3 is broken. It's actually run by a conference called Consensus, failure to reach consensus, which is impossible to reach consensus because it's centralized. So you're trying to find a mass consensus when the decision making is actually centralized. Problem, who told you something? Turns out you don't know. Therefore, you don't have a ranking of the 11 chefs that are in the kitchen of your mind. Problem, what are the sum total of the 5 YouTube influencers that we talk to most? I see you guys in your play history. You go from a Larry Chang video to some other form of success porn or doom porn, doom porn, or some mind-numbing brain rot. but then you forget who told you what, and you don't have a notebook. This is journaling while you're YouTubing, which is day 8 of hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK. YouTube journal, day 8. If it's worth watching on YouTube, 1.9x, it's worth taking notes on. Memorize, cite, write, ever growing, NPC, rage to hate, joining a video thread where you pretend like you're learning. NPC never has notes. NPC does not get better day to day. NPC feels like they're in a roller coaster of shit when they hear the word rabbit holes. That would be day 8. Problem, bibliography. The reason money gets made is you now have a bibliography. Because if you don't know how you made your money, you didn't make money, and therefore you're lying about the money. This is what most successful people do. I hate that this is the most valuable video you've ever watched because I'm explaining to you how you got lied to. Successful people, their pain was so great to make their first $800 that they then lie about it. The reason I know is because I love $0. In the same way that some dudes won't get married because they love the beginning of a relationship. They love the, oh, is she going to let me put it inside of her by date number 0.6? How is this magic going to happen? The reason I know this so well is because I've got a friend. The reason I know about $0 so well is I am sick in the head about Money Virgin. I just love Money Virgin. Why? Because getting a girl who's a virgin, that's just weird. Like if you're 25 and you're still a virgin, yeah. And plus, women were never a challenge. But what is a challenge is money virgin. What is a money virgin? It's a person who's never made money before. It's like a vaccine virgin where I'm curious. I'm still shopping for a vaccine. I started to worry when they offered free French fries for some mRNA pumped into me. Ditto the mRNA cast-offs, which is why I'm doubling down on which is why I'm doubling down on which is why I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down on not going down on my wife until it's our 10-year anniversary, because some of that mRNA that can shoot off while she's having an orgasm. Bibliography. Most people don't know how they made their first $1 million. And when they do, there's survivorship bias where they then lie to other people. I wasn't joking when I said that I was the smartest person in Silicon Valley. I wasn't joking about that. It makes me sound like the smartest person in Silicon Valley because of these next 3 sentences. I know how you made your first chunk of dollar, meaning I know how you made your first $800, and I also know how you made your first $1 million. It turns out those stories are nearly the same every time. And this is what baked people's noodles, because I'm sorry to say, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Which is your bibliography, which is what did you first do to make your first $1 million? The reason people unknowingly lie about it, which is Web12, is it was so painful that they didn't want to know. For example, Anna Annison, future blonde billionaire. I found her when she was a booth babe. Ditto Lisa Falzone. Ditto Sarah Blakely. Ditto Whitney Wolf. Ditto Caroline Rodriguez. Ditto Shelby Sapp. Ditto, 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 ditto. Blondes. Ann Annison, the first thing she did in Silicon Valley was something called Baseball Beauties, where it wasn't cringe, it was just very niche, where it was just stuff about baseball. And people are like, well, how is this going to turn into an AI company? Casey Cross. Larry, how does sucking your D turn into $1 billion? Well, first of all, that's offensive, okay? Because I was a victim, which is bibliography, one chef in the kitchen. That's what these blondes would have, is one chef in the kitchen versus 11 chefs in the kitchen. Why? Maybe we're never going to meet in the real world, which is very true because we're never going to meet in the real world. But what we're doing here is we're doing what Julian did on day 10. Somebody write this hashtag down. Fucking please. Day 10, 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK. To today, day 12. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. You see, we're changing one word and we're making it great. That's one chef in the kitchen. That's Peter Thiel. That's Steve Chen, Chad Hurley. YouTube wasn't the first. There was another company that was just like YouTube, run by this Jewish guy that I'm forgetting his name. Doesn't matter. Change one word, make it great. That's step one. Oh, but Larry, it never works like that. Oh, ye of attendee to my safety college, Harvard. Yes, Harvard University is my safety school. It's that way literally every time. And if it's not exactly that way, it's always exactly hashtag external API, which is barely even changing one thing. Usually it's the exact thing. Richard Branson, you name the, let's play a game since you guys can't write a hashtag. Write a name of your favorite founder who is a millionaire, billionaire. You write that down and I'll show you how they made the one chef in the kitchen of their brain, either Mark McCormack or Larry Chang. This is the easiest, most fun game ever because it's a game about making a lot of money. $800, which is infinitely more money than you've ever made on someone else's YouTube. Cook one thing. Have 5 to 11 people, backseat driver, your meal. So your goal is to just cook one thing. Is it buying a domain for $6 and selling it for 6 figures? You tell me. You tell me. But cook one thing. Here, this is what we're going to do because it's 11 chefs in the kitchen of your brain. You're going to buy a basil plant. You're going to go to that communist grocery store in Berkeley that's a food cooperative. You're going to buy a basil plant. You're going to take that basil plant that you purchased for $11 that they're selling for $8, and you're going to turn it into one basil plant that you sell for $80 on YouTube, and 4 more basil plants by studying basil propagation. Larry, is this a multi-level marketing scheme? No, you person who had parents or a mom that sold Tupperware in multi-level marketing. This is 0-level pyramid. Think about this tower of power where you're a female and you're being towered over mentally by a male that you're thinking about, because you're propagating a basil plant. So you're taking something for $8 and you're making $9. Oh, but Larry, you said it didn't take money to make money. I owe $3,000. I don't have $9. Cool. Go to a Trader Joe's and take a selfie, and I will buy you that basil plant for that selfie. Then you're going to get the $9 back twice in 2 chunks of $4.50. Chunk 1 is you cut one of the branches and then you remove leaves, and from those leaf removals turns into a root. This is you making $20 on an $8 basil plant. Who's going to be your first customer? I don't know, but worst case scenario, I'll buy it. And then I'll take that $20 basil plant and I will make $8,000, where I'm going to keep $8,000 of it. Oh, but Larry, like, that's not fair. This is literally why Indian people ripped on me on Quora. Indian people ripped so hard on Quora that, and Sarah Park, Lisa Kim, it's always the minorities. It's never the white people who get angry that I'm so awesome. It's always the minorities. Quora critics criticized me so hard on Adam's website that it caused people, even to this day, to ask, Larry, are you the co-founder of Quora? Why do Asian people get so angry at Larry Chang? Well, with Sarah Park, Lisa Kim, it was, oh my God, you're amazing. You know everybody. Why do I know billionaires? Why do I know millionaires? It's because I ask really good questions. Would you like to live 10 years longer? You have sleep apnea. Would you like for me to turn around your business? Would you like to be friends with this guy? And they're always like, yes, please. And then everyone else is like, why is he so popular? He must be a scam artist. Why is he getting people to buy him food? Here, in this video, I've been given 4 meals via gift cards. Why am I forcing that? Because I don't want you to buy me food. It's because cook one thing. It's because there are 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind. Tell me the book that you read that you need to reread. Oh, that would be Tony Robbins. Everybody in Silicon Valley says the same books. Therefore, I read all the books. Therefore, I know what you're thinking. Did Good Will Hunting do the same thing with his psychological evaluations? Yeah. He walked right into a psychiatrist's office, looked at all the books, and said, I already know your prognosis. Is this Good Will Hunting, or is this good Larry Chang hunting? Because the first thing I do when I walk into a girl's place is I say, did you go to Stanford? Not because I want her to go to Stanford, but because I was actively not sleeping with girls at Stanford. Why? Because I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, which is like going to an apartment party and then you sleep with the people that are at the apartment party. Somebody's going to get really angry because the reason the girl's there in the first place is because somebody wanted to sleep with them. That's why she got invited. And then the big swinging dick's going to come in. That's why I knew at Stanford that was an entirely no fucking zone. In fact, there's a bus stop sign in my honor that says no sex. Why am I going into a girl's apartment to make sure that she doesn't have a Stanford background? Because women would lie to me that did have a Stanford background and then try to have sex with me by hiding their Stanford background. What is going on here is, can you cook one thing? Can you let one person cook in your brain so that way you produce something? Because when you have 5 to 11 people backseat driving your meal, good luck. You're not going to be able to cook crap. Do you remember before where we talked about the Marvel movies and why superhero movies suck? That's because there's not one director telling one story. It's 5 to 11 people backseat directing your movie. That's why the movie will inadvertently have two dudes making out. You're like, what? What? That makes no sense. That's why movies suck. That's why movies suck. And then you suck because you missed the segment on why is Larry Chang so hard on me, which is where you thought, hey, I'm going to ask retarded questions before my retardation, my pansexual neurodivergence, gets pinned. Come back better after a 6-minute timeout. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Oh, this has to be a bit. Oh, it's hilarious. We're on segment 2 of the bit, 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind. Swallow these 14 more bits. Think and grow rich. It's just a board of directors in your mind. It's 11 chefs in one direction. So when you're saying, is this a bit, you're finally sort of correct. So you might think that I'm an AI tech burnout schizo, or you can say, oh my God, this is the most valuable video that I've ever watched. Because the answer to 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind is schizo. So you said schizo because you have 30 therapists running circles trying to not solve your problem. Be honest, I sniffed out that you have a therapist and your therapist is retarded. Your retarded therapist also has no goal, which is financial entertainment while being financial advice, which is, what if you had 11 therapists that you curated pointing you towards one direction? You would never have tech burnout. Do I look burned out delivering the same message for a umpteenth time? Dare I say 4,800th time? Because all of my videos are, look, pay attention to this. Yes, I'm funny because I have to watch this in editing. And if I'm not slightly funny, entertaining myself, I would go not insane, because I could never go insane. I would go into the next video with less enthusiasm. So you keep saying schizophrenia because you didn't finish college. I'm saying the definition of schizophrenia is 11 chefs, dare I say, I do dare, 6 therapists that are non sequitur that tried to fix you. So the reason that Larry Chang is not flammable is because you can't light fire on fire. You lighting fire on fire is like you bring a little matchstick to the, oh, I'm going to flame Larry Chang. I am a neutron bomb controlled going off in the Hiroshima, Nagasaki of your ego. Why? Because Japanese people, you should have surrendered. Japanese people, we should have dropped it on Kyoto and Tokyo. But guess what? I'm getting goosebumps because you shouldn't have done all that shiitake to China. Why did we not do, we being the United States of America? Number one, baby, is we're going to have to rebuild that and come clean up your shit. Did I just explain a neutron bomb to getting flamed to 11 chefs in the kitchen of your head? You should have one chef cooking. That would be Larry Chang, because I just explained Web12 and Web4 because the Japanese economic miracle was hiding something. Revealed the princes of the yen. The princes of the yen. Good job. Good job. We can call this a grease fire. We can call this a grease fire. We can call this a grease fire because at $0, one chef. This is 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind. Physics. Zero. $0 is incredibly powerful. Leave zero and you will be a millionaire super soon. Now, I know I sound like Tom Cruise in Vanilla Ice or Vanilla Sky. Did we just come up with a new Larry Chang movie called Vanilla Sky, Vanilla Ice? It's where a Chinese guy doesn't steal David Bowie songs. A Chinese guy sings Chinese cowboy songs in Toy Story 5. Your phone's not so smart, it's really just breaking your brain. Your phone's got 11 chefs and all 11 therapists are causing you to get hooked on therapy, right? That's what's happening in therapy is the therapist, they're not rich. They need you hooked on the drip. That is financial entertainment. Fire your own therapist at your own financial benefit and mental peril. I don't mentor everybody. I'm not even your mentor. You're going to have to use AI to simulate me talking to you. Who's not even going to ask that question? You know what I'm thinking. PR, PR, PI. This is 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind. Solved, which is on one hashtag. Hashtag PR, PR, PI. Which is pattern recognition that we delegate to our mentor, Mark McCormack, in heaven and on AI. That's pattern recognition. If you are trying to pattern recognize, hocus pocus, there is pizza on your focus. So by saying retarded stuff, that's your homosexual origin story. Is it happened to you? Let's let this happen because of us, which is pattern recognizing our childhood trauma, now no longer choosing that as a lifestyle. Dare I say, praying the gay away. Dare I say, who's watching this video and not liking themselves? Pattern recognition of people who watch but can't like. Pattern repetition, pattern iteration, all together, put it into pen to paper. I was going to say put it down in the comments, but don't. Put it down onto a piece of paper, take a picture of that piece of paper, and text message me. Why? Because this one hashtag solves everything. Hashtag PR, 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 all together. Hashtag PR, PR, PI. Pattern recognition you give to your mentor. This is your mentor. We, as the mentee, we're doing pattern repetition, pattern iteration. Why? Speed of Web12. Why? speed of execution. Why? Because you asked an idiotic question for the neurodivergent, which is how do I publish 5 web pages on Duck9? How do I publish 4 web pages on my domain that looks like I'm a squatter? Remember, we're loading and exploding. I can't tell you how many people who've never played football, basketball, baseball saying, oh, why don't they just do this? I'm like, show me that you can throw a football 20 yards. They can't roll a tennis ball 25 yards. Where you're going to tell people to throw a football where you can't throw a tennis ball that far. This is 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind. This is your brain literally showing me that segment 2 keeps your Scottsdale brain broken by words are magic, blah, 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 blah. Like, that is crystals, that is Sedona, that is the fact that you're a man, you're a person pretending to be a man. I just diagnosed the fact that you're a 32-year-old single female from Sedona who's currently crashing in her friend's place in Scottsdale because you got broken up with because you couldn't focus on your one guy. He broke up with you. Now you're homeless. And I was going to not block you. I was going to time you out, but you are exemplifying 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind. That's very real of you. Let's in the next 10 minutes, we are going to do something amazing, Colette. Larry, it's embarrassing a little. I don't tell anyone about why embarrassing because I've watched multiple Larry Chang videos and I'm still broke. First of all, stop pretending to be a woman who's actually a man, pretending to be a woman. And focus for segment number 3. Please get pen and paper. I'm going to solve your problem for you in a staccato burst of 25. Burst number 1 coming. Burst number 1 coming. You ready? It's your time preference. The fact that you are honest about your time now is TL do read. TLDR is the old way. Too long, don't read. That Larry Chang, he's a blowhard. All he does is talk. Too long, do read is time preference. Because you're now immersed into the details. This is segment 3. Larry, explain Web12 to me like I'm 12. I almost said explain Web2 to me as if I'm 2. We can do that. Effort in, results out. Take that joke of slip and write it down. Why? Because Web12 as if you're 12 years old, Web2 as if you're 2 years old. Right now, a 2-year-old is actually smarter than us. Why? Because Lily, the smart pad, has not yet been made into your babysitter. Who is Lily the smart pad? She's the antagonist in the movie Toy Story 5. We're addressing a problem. Effort in, money out. We're addressing a problem. Effort in, because you're watching videos, you're not making money yet. This is $20. This is a first person to say June 18th, Toy Story 5 gets to give me a $45 gift card to AMC theaters. June 18, Toy Story 5. Colette, do you want to give me a $45 gift card? Because you'd be the first and somebody might beat you to it. Because your effort in has no investment. Somebody beat you. So, why is Bullet Traders beating you? Because Bullet Traders now has a slush fund. This is effort in, results out. This is what made me number one VC in the entire planet and definitively the best VC in Silicon Valley because I have a slush fund. It's fuck you money, which is a slush fund. The best money is fuck you money. Most VCs only have one form of fuck you money, which is they invest in one of my blonde billionaire companies. They make $1 billion because you latched on to Jensen Huang at NVIDIA. Now your venture firm made $1 billion and you now have fuck you money of $40 million. Am I getting bored while I'm talking? Yes, because that's boring. What's exciting is slush fund. Colette, come on. June 18, Toy Story 5. Colette, come on. It doesn't matter that you're number 2. You can still be, I'll accept 2 gift cards, one by Bullet Traders for 45 bucks, and then you. What day is Toy Story 5 coming out? You might not think that this is layer 1 venture capital because I'm the guy who came up with the 4 layers of venture capital. Layer 0, LinkedIn. Layer 3, LinkedIn. This is segment 3, layer 1 venture capital, which is the calendar. This is how you make money, is you front run the calendar. And if you think, oh my God, this is easy, why doesn't everybody else do it? This is why all the secrets are hiding in public, because you could have connected my day 12 hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking bankruptcy, or that's what BK stands for, bankruptcy. Or you could be mentally checked out right now because I'm going to ask you a 5th time, will you write down Toy Story 5? Problem, effort in, results out. You know what I'm going to do? Because I've got to meet a blonde billionaire to help make sure that she's a billionaire. Pay me $6 on Cash App, and I will send you the public YouTube link. My Cash App cash tag is Larry Chang. Oh, but Larry, I can just skip paying you $6 and I'll just come to your next video called Your Time Tits Broken. Your time is broken because I'm asking a 6th time, Colette, will you write down Toy Story 5? That's layer 1 VC. This is not schizo. This is me speed learning, speed reading, speed comprehension, speed shipping, as if we're in. Good job. Stop with the all words together. But yeah, good job. So congratulations. We'll keep going. Effort in, results out. You don't think you can make $800 promoting Toy Story 5. That's the first thing you're doing, which is time preference. Why is Slush Fund Buddy so up my jock right now? Because I'm going to take his $0 and make it much more than 2K, while the only money I'll take is publicly via 1 or 3 gift cards I've lost track. AMC gift card, text message to me where you take a picture of the codes and say, here's your $45 gift card. How are we going to make $800? Because you shouldn't give me this gift card until you make $800. Let me repeat that, because I don't want you saying, oh, I gave Larry a gift card. I got fucking distracted because there's 11 chefs in the kitchen of my mind, and then he kept that gift card. You do not get to give me a $45 gift card until you make $800 on Toy Story 5. Set the chat from tap chat to live chat. I don't even know what that is. Bing. I don't see most of these folks' comments. Not sure what that means. Oh, I get it. You guys are talking about each other. Okay. Effort in, results out. Toy Story 5. Toy Story 5. Which the jokes will be awesome because Man Story 5 is actually Oriental Man Story 5 with Song 1. Lily Pad, she's trying to break your brain. Did your smartphone break your brain? Be honest. Your smartphone broke your brain. This is segment 3. Your smartphone broke your brain, therefore your time is broken. That's Oriental Man Story 5, Song 1. Your phone's not so smart. It's really just breaking your brain. You take that sound clip and then you slap it into a Toy Story trailer and you use AI. I, Larry Chang, consent to you using my intellectual property if you promise to give me a $45 million gift card when your film makes an extra $1 billion. Let me repeat that. Give me 45 sticks against 1,000 sticks. What's a stick? It's 1 million. Because you can't say words like million, million, billion, because most people think the relation between trillion, billion, million is small. It's actually ginormous. Broken brain, broken time. I'm going to leave you with that. Why? Because I'm going to actually help a blonde millionaire become a blonde billionaire. I will be posting that video shortly. Who's batting 1,000 when it comes to blonde billionaires? This guy. Why? Because that's my power animal. Everyone thinks my power animal is a polar bear because I'm so fluffy, I'm so white, and I eat. I eat. I almost said I eat people, but like that's adrenochrome, and I'm not down with that. I will let the unmoderated chat continue as I get changed. Hopefully, I won't appear. This is this is how to make $300 by spending $0 to then spend $200. This is basic fucking math, which is you don't risk money to make money. Your invested time is an investment. Don't let my effort go to waste trying to help you. Why is Larry Chang so hard on me? Segment 1. The reason I'm hard on you is the fact that I'm willing to risk my relationship capital and my relationship to get you to use your brain for the first time ever in this video. That's the most valuable video that you've ever watched, ever. Once you get your first, I made $11 selling a basil plant that I bought for $8. I thought I was going to make $200. That $11 is going to make you no longer a business virgin. Why are blonde females within Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club so better? Because Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club doesn't have 11 chefs in the kitchen of their brain, of their mind. Why? Because it's a Larry Chang cult where Larry Chang refuses to fuck you. What happens at every cult? Oh, we're supposed to worship the leader. Oh, we're supposed to be on the wait list to suck his D. Guess what? Okay, guess what? This this gets fellatio all on its own. I actually have to talk my way out of getting blown. Why? Because I'm willing to risk my relationship capital as I'm willing to risk my attractiveness capital. Why? Because the only thing that matters is another notch on my venture capital portfolio wall, not a notch on my belt because I'm beltless. I'm beltless. No belt, sometimes zipper down. How fashionable am I to go no belt, zipper down? Why? Because we're ready to one chef in the kitchen of our brain. Why is there only one chef in the kitchen of our brain, Larry? Why is there only one chef? Because those are the best cults, is where we enter a cult and we don't worry about, where we don't worry about, where we don't worry. We don't worry. We don't worry because this is an E relationship electronically over electron.